You ever hear a song that freezes you right where you stand, makes the world tilt, and suddenly your whole past comes rushing back like it never left? That's exactly how it happened. Right there in my little diner on a Tuesday afternoon when all I expected was to run out of half and half, not out of explanations for the way my heart hammered in my chest. So picture this. I'm just pouring coffee, barely listening to the oldies on the radio, and in walks this trucker, tall guy, maybe late 20s, boots worn down by miles and miles, I can't even imagine. And there's something gentle in the way he holds himself, polite like he's careful not to leave footprints where he doesn't belong. You know what I mean? He picks the booth by the window. The one nobody loves because the seat splits your jeans if you sit wrong. But he slides in like he's done it 1,000 times, cap in hand, gives me a nod that says he's not asking for trouble. Just maybe a slice of pie and some peace. I step out from behind the counter, wipe my hands on my apron like I'm hiding nerves that haven't shown up in years, and I ask, "Coffee?" He nods, "Black. Please." And, "Is that peach pie? Smells like home." I get a little smile out, but the kind that never makes it up to my eyes, and I pour his coffee, plate a slice just how I'd want it myself. Crust all sugar and golden, and as I'm carrying it over, I hear it. A humming, so soft you'd miss it if you weren't listening, but my whole body stops moving because I know that melody. God, do I know it? It's not from a jukebox or a radio. It's my mother's lullaby, the one she sang only in our house, for us, for my little brother Daniel, who vanished without a trace when I was barely more than a kid myself. I freeze, my fingers locked around that plate, and for a second, it's like I'm 8 years old again. Standing in a kitchen full of shadows, straining to hear something, anything, of him left in the world. The song was never written down, never heard outside our four walls. So how is this stranger humming it here now? I set the plate down harder than I mean to and ask, voice all wrong, "What song is that?" He blinks, surprised, says it's just a tune stuck in his head. Something his dad hummed. He guesses, but he's not even sure where it came from. Says his name's Luke, been driving since he was 18, woke up in a Nevada shelter when he was 5. No memories before that, but flashes, a woman with red hair, blue room, crackers, not much else. I don't remember walking back to my office, but my hands are shaking when I get there. And I dig out my phone, dial my older sister Elise, the one who never answers unless it's an emergency. And the second she picks up, I whisper, "He's here, Elise." A man. He's humming Mom's lullaby. Silence. So long I wonder if she hung up, but then she asks, steady but scared, "You still have that recording from the week before Daniel disappeared?" Of course I do. I keep it on my phone like a superstition, like maybe if I listen to it enough, I'll bring him back. "Play it for him," Elise says, and now her voice is shaking. "If it's him, he'll know the words, he won't even realize it." And suddenly I'm so scared I can barely breathe. What if it's not him? Then it's a weird coincidence, she says, but if it is, you'll know. So I go back out, hands cold, and Luke, if that's his name, is still there, fork hovering over pie, eyes kind of distant like he's not all the way present. I set my phone on the table, thumb trembling as I press play, and there it is, my mom's voice, a little warped with age and static, but still hers, singing that lullaby that belongs nowhere else but my childhood. The diner goes quiet. Luke stares at the phone like it just cracked his soul wide open, and before I know it, he's singing along under his breath, one line, word perfect, his voice breaking. "That's the song," he whispers. I swear I've heard it in dreams. I sit down across from him, my heart slamming against my ribs, and I say, real quiet, "Your name isn't Luke. It's Daniel. And you're my brother." He looks at me, really looks at me, and for a second neither of us moves, the air thick with something too heavy to carry alone. He finally says, "I don't understand." But I can see it in his face, the recognition, the fear, the ache of missing something you never even knew you lost. We talk, right there in the middle of the diner, like the rest of the world has faded to static. I tell him what happened, how he disappeared one ordinary afternoon, playing in the yard. Mom went inside for lemonade, came back, and he was gone. He remembers flashes, a blue ceiling, a woman with red hair. Carla, the woman who worked for us back then, the one Mom fired after she caught her screaming at Daniel. She vanished the same week Daniel did, and years later we heard she died in a car accident. No note, no confession, no one left behind. She must have taken him, changed his name, moved him, then left him at that Nevada shelter when she got sick. It all comes spilling out, old grief mixing with new hope, and I pull out this little silver locket from my apron. The only picture I have left, me and Daniel on the porch steps, popsicles in hand. The sun so bright it looks almost fake, his smile crooked, his eyes just like mine. He picks it up, stares at it for the longest time, and finally lets the tears come. "That's me," he says. "I always felt like I was missing something, like there was a hole in my life I could never fill." I just let him cry, let the years of silence stretch and then break, because sometimes the only answer is letting it hurt. Those next days are a blur. Daniel, my lost brother, staying in the motel behind the diner, Elise driving an overnight and crying so hard she shakes. We dig out the old family albums, send in DNA samples, wait on results that feel like they'll never come. Daniel remembers pieces, flashes, summer days, a porch swing, a voice calling his name, and then darkness, then waking up somewhere strange. It's enough. We put the puzzle together, one missing memory at a time. But the ache starts to lift a little, replaced by something I haven't let myself feel in years: hope. When the DNA results come, we already know what they'll say. He reads his name off the paper. Voice shaking, Daniel Cole Evans. That's me. I stand behind him, hand on his shoulder, and for the first time in 2 decades, I feel at home. We don't post it online. We don't call the news. Some things aren't meant for strangers to pick apart. Daniel moves into the room above the diner, the one I've been using for storage, and the first thing he touches is our dad's old wooden train set. Nights become this mix of laughter and tears and silence, sometimes just sitting together while the jukebox hums old tunes it hasn't played in years. The customers notice a new face behind the counter, a quiet kindness in the way he refills coffee, the way he says "welcome in," like he means it. Every night after closing, I make 2 plates instead of 1 and sit across from my brother, sometimes humming that lullaby, sometimes letting the quiet say what words can't. Daniel closes his eyes, sometimes smiles, sometimes cries, but every night he's there, and every night we find a little more of what we lost. That's what peace looks like in the end, not fireworks, not miracles. Just 2 people at a table in a quiet Texas town, pie crust crumbs, and a song in the air, where time finally gives back what it took. But you know, sometimes I still wonder, what if Carla hadn't left him at that shelter? What if he'd never found his way here? Would I have spent my whole life waiting for a song that only I remembered? Do you believe in fate, or just luck and stubborn hope? Tell me what you think. Was it right to keep this miracle private, or would you have shared it with the world? Let's talk about it. Because sometimes, the hardest stories are the ones you don't tell out loud.